It was a chance to build leaders. Members of Pocono Mountain East and West high schools took part in a student-athlete leadership day in the Lehigh Valley. Our Mick Moningoff has the story of a program that will help them now and hopefully for years to come.
Athletes from 10 local schools attended the AthLife Foundation's Sports Leadership Day at the St. Luke's Sports Rink in Whitehall. Jeff McCann, the executive director and vice president of the AthLife Foundation, says his group, which presented the event, has been helping students for more than a decade.
The AthLife Foundation's been around since 2010. We're a national platform, and we aim to help schools create and develop academic athletic support positions and build unique student-athlete development programs at their schools.
The students took part in breakout sessions that encompassed mental health, sports performance, and time management. And they exchanged ideas on ways to cope with the pressures and influences that affect them both on and off the field. Dr. Emmett Gill, who has worked with the NFL, NBA, and major college programs, addressed the aspect of mental health for student athletes.
The primary piece is to look at the intersection between leadership, social justice, sports, and mental health. One of the things that we see, of course we saw it with Monday Night Football, is that mental health is a large part of sports, right? And so really trying to help the young folks tune into, what can be done in terms of mental health on the high school level. What skills do they have and can utilize in terms of bringing those necessary things to fruition? And then sort of how does it relate to leadership, not just in life, but in sports and in school. So really hope to look at those things and explore them, learn a little bit from the participants here, as well as give them some information.
Dr. Nazarel Townsend focused on time management and organizational skills.
I'm currently at Rutgers University, where I serve as a senior learning specialist, so that's very important for our student athletes across the board to understand how important it is to have good time management and organizational skills. It's also important for them to understand what their learning style is, whether they're a visual learner, kinesthetic learner, auditory learner, hands-on learner, things of that nature. Really having an understanding of how to manage their time, how to be successful, and how to understand what their learning style is to be able to apply the tools that they'll need to be successful while being a student athlete.
And Dr. Chris Williamson, a sports psychologist from St. Luke's Sports Medicine, provided performance tips for the attendees.
Sports psychology is always an interesting field and subject because people tend to associate it with something's wrong with me. And that's really not what it is at all. It's about how can we be more proactive in using some of these skills that are going to set us up for success. And so we're having some good conversations. People are receptive and enjoying it so far.
I definitely learned a lot about what I can bring back to my teammates and my team alone, and not just my team with high school, but also going on to college. I also learned a lot about how I would want to add things to my daily routines that could improve my performances with playing basketball and also in the classroom.
I feel like the topic of mental health is very important because it doesn't get talked about enough in the realm of athletics. A lot of times that it just gets brushed over, and a lot of athletes do need help with that. So the fact that they address that today so that we can all better help each other and better ourselves, I find that very important.
The athletes and advisors who attended today's seminar will take this information back to their local schools with the hopes that their fellow student athletes can benefit. In Whitehall, I'm Mick Moningoff, 13 Sports.